Pyramids, temples, tombs. These ancient wonders promise even greater secrets, still to be found under the sands of Egypt.
Nefertiti is one of the most popular individuals from ancient Egypt, one that sticks in the public imagination, not least because of the famous Berlin bust.
For centuries, the mystery of Queen Nefertiti's tomb has tantalized archaeologists and historians alike. Could the greatest icon of ancient Egypt's golden age have been hiding in plain sight, her final resting place untouched for millennia? Recent breakthroughs suggest that the secrets locked behind hidden walls in the Valley of the Kings might finally be unraveling, sparking excitement and controversy across the world. What exactly lies beyond these mysterious chambers? The revelations could rewrite our understanding of one of history's most enigmatic figures and the ancient civilization she once ruled, the quest for Nefertiti's tomb. The hunt for Queen Nefertiti's final resting place is one of archaeology's most enduring mysteries. Despite her iconic status as the wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten and a key figure in ancient Egypt's Amarna period, her tomb has eluded discovery for over a century. Unlike other royal burials, records about Nefertiti's death and burial are frustratingly scarce, fueling endless speculation among historians and treasure hunters alike. The question has always lingered: where did this powerful queen spend her eternal rest? Early searches focused on the Amarna region, where she once ruled. However, no conclusive evidence of her tomb emerged there. This absence baffled experts, given that most Egyptian royalty were interred near their seats of power. Some proposed that Nefertiti might have been buried in the Valley of the Kings instead, a site traditionally reserved for pharaohs and their close relatives. Yet, even in this famed necropolis, definitive proof of her burial remained missing. Various theories have surfaced. Perhaps Nefertiti's tomb was destroyed, hidden by time, or intentionally concealed. Some archaeologists suggested she could have even ruled briefly as a pharaoh under a different name, masking her burial site. Others speculated that her tomb might lie concealed within or adjacent to the tomb of Tutankhamun, her probable stepson. These conjectures only deepened the allure and mystery surrounding her legacy. For decades, the scant historical clues led to dead ends, complicated by looted and damaged tombs that erased much evidence. The Valley of the Kings remained a place of tantalizing possibility, a labyrinth of chambers and corridors where untold secrets might still lie. Throughout the 20th century, numerous expeditions explored the area, but none unearthed convincing signs of Nefertiti's burial. The elusive tomb became more than a quest for artifacts. It symbolized the desire to unlock secrets about Egypt's enigmatic Amarna period and its revolutionary rulers. Finding Nefertiti's resting place would reveal insights into religious shifts, royal power struggles, and artistic transformations. Such a discovery held the promise of rewriting chapters of ancient Egyptian history. Interest surged in the 21st century as technology advanced, raising hopes of breakthroughs. High-profile archaeologists began re-examining old hypotheses with fresh eyes and new tools. The world watched eagerly, aware that uncovering Nefertiti's tomb would be a monumental archaeological event rivaling the discovery of Tutankhamun's nearly century ago. Despite the excitement, caution prevailed. The physical terrain is harsh, and the valley's many tombs pose complex challenges, both in excavation and preservation. Conservation concerns, political issues, and the unpredictable nature of ground disturbances tempered expectations. Yet, the determination to solve this riddle remained undiminished. In recent years, attention turned to seemingly ordinary tombs that might conceal hidden chambers or undiscovered spaces. Tantalizing anomalies sparked renewed efforts to peer beneath plaster walls and beneath layers of dust and stone. Each fragment of new data hinted that the answer might be closer than ever before. The persistence of this quest set the stage for a breakthrough, one rooted not in guesswork, but in cutting-edge archaeological science that promised to finally tear away the valley's ancient veil. Looking beyond decades of speculative searching, new technologies began to paint a clearer picture of what lies beneath, reshaping the entire search for Nefertiti's tomb. Advances in archaeological technology. The recent surge in Egyptological discoveries owes much to technological innovation, transforming once impossible investigations into achievable missions. Ground-penetrating radar, in particular, has revolutionized how archaeologists survey ancient sites without disturbing fragile ruins. By sending electromagnetic pulses underground, this technique maps hidden cavities and structural anomalies beneath tomb floors and walls, offering a virtual glimpse into lost chambers. Complementing radar, 3D laser scanning captures precise spatial data, rendering detailed digital models of tomb interiors and surrounding terrain. This allows experts to analyze structures remotely and detect irregularities that might indicate concealed rooms or passageways. Such non-invasive technologies minimize risk to priceless artifacts, ensuring preservation even before a spade is lifted. Satellite imaging also plays a role, tracking changes in soil composition and temperature to identify potential underground voids from space. Combined with geomagnetic and electrical resistance surveys, researchers can cross-verify findings, increasing confidence in suspected hidden areas. These multidimensional approaches mark a sharp departure from traditional digging guided solely by surface clues or speculation. Equipped with these instruments, the ancient history specialists set up ordered scanning projects aimed at the Valley of the Kings, paying special attention to the tombs that had raising doubts or were historically connected to the major personalities like Nefertiti. Continuous anomalies in Tutankhamun's tomb, to name one, were particularly looked into after leading little radar scans next to his burial chamber where they seemed to be voids. The scanning process revealed two possible voids behind the existing walls, which could turn out to be galleries or even chambers that have not been discovered. The whole situation was like an electrical shock to the world, archaeologists suggesting the existence of a second burial complex, and that this may be even connected to Nefertiti. The readings were very stimulating, igniting debates and further explorations. However, to change the digital data into physical confirmation requires meticulous and careful excavation. The archaeologists have to take into account the need to expose the past as well as the need to keep the environment around the site undisturbed. Robotic and minimally invasive probing techniques have been developed to the point that they now let the experts access the voids one tiny drilled hole at a time. And risk-free massive disruption is avoided while cameras and sensor equipment get deeper within. The recent techniques have been developed through a combination of previous technological breakthroughs that happen to be on the verge of dying out. They are actually a fusion of high-tech science and the ancient mystery. The collaboration of different disciplines, geophysicists, engineers, and others, has turned out to be the most significant factor in revealing Egypt's deepest secrets. Physical confirmation is still a long way off, but as the saying goes, seeing is believing. However, the merging of different sets of data has created a very strong case. Nefertiti's lost tomb could be lying just next door, covered with layers of stones, and still intact and undisturbed by the passage of time. The combination of wishful thinking and scientific rigor is broadening the horizons of what can be accomplished in archaeology, i.e., discoveries. The spades are almost ready to hit the ground, and the whole world is not only watching the ancient walls, but also the new, daring technology that is going to reveal their secrets. The revelation of hidden chambers near Tutankhamun extends an invitation to explore the lives and deaths of those who ruled Egypt's most turbulent era. The discovery of hidden chambers. Radar scans in recent years delivered one of the most startling surprises in Egyptology: the detection of two voids behind the walls of Tutankhamun's tomb. These chambers, still sealed by ancient plaster, defy previous assumptions about the tomb's layout and purpose. The possibility that they could belong to Nefertiti sent ripples through the archaeological community, reigniting decades of debate. The tomb of Tutankhamun, discovered nearly a century ago with unparalleled wealth and preservation, was long thought fully explored. However, subtle irregularities in the wall thickness and anomalies in radar reflections suggested that much more might lurk beyond its known confines. These clues broke the notion of the tomb as a singular, isolated structure. The theory that these hidden rooms might be Nefertiti's burial stems from historical records indicating her prominence and the likely need for a large, decorated tomb befitting her status. The location adjacent to Tutankhamun further supports a close familial or political connection. Nefertiti's role as a powerful queen and possible co-regent suggests a nearby resting place. Archaeologists have noted that the artistry and architecture of Tutankhamun's burial complex exhibit unique features atypical for a king of his age, hinting the tomb may have been repurposed. This aligns with the possibility that it was originally designed for someone else, perhaps Nefertiti, only to be altered later. Such a theory provides an explanation for the unfinished elements and unusual layout. The timing of the construction also matches Nefertiti's sudden disappearance from Egyptian records, fueling speculation about whether she died prematurely or sought anonymity in death. If these chambers hold her tomb, they may be sealed away, untouched and protected from looters for thousands of years. Efforts to probe these spaces carefully have begun, with tiny boreholes drilled that can send microcameras inside. Early images showed empty chambers with clean walls, raising speculation about frescoes or coffins hidden from sight. However, the lack of direct access preserves an aura of suspense. Some experts hope that the discovery will reveal frescoes depicting Nefertiti in her regal glory or even inscriptions affirming her identity. Such findings could transform understanding of Egyptian burial customs, the Amarna period's politics, and royal burial hierarchies. While many await official permission for more invasive exploration, the discovery itself has charged academic and public imagination alike. It suggests that the Valley of the Kings still holds secrets capable of rewriting ancient Egyptian history. The hidden chambers represent more than lost rooms. They symbolize the closing of a mystery that has tantalized humanity for generations, and the dawning of new insights into Nefertiti's life and legacy. The promise of what may be uncovered behind these ancient walls turns anticipation into eager expectation for the next chapter of discovery. Nefertiti's historical significance. Queen Nefertiti is one of ancient Egypt's most captivating figures, her legacy stretching far beyond her stunning bust that has become a global icon. As the great royal wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten, she played a central role during a revolutionary period marked by radical religious change. Together, they promoted the worship of Aten, the sun disk, abandoning centuries of polytheistic traditions. This dramatic shift, sometimes called the Amarna Revolution, set Nefertiti apart as a powerful queen who may have ruled alongside or even briefly after her husband. Her influence extended deeply into political and cultural spheres. Nefertiti appears in numerous reliefs and artworks as an equal partner, often depicted performing rituals once reserved exclusively for pharaohs. This unprecedented prominence suggests she was not merely a consort, but a ruler in her own right, possibly even a co-regent. Some scholars argue she assumed full pharaonic power, challenging traditional gender roles and authority structures in ancient Egypt. Despite her prominence, Nefertiti's fate is shrouded in mystery. After around year 12 of Akhenaten's reign, historical records about her abruptly disappear. Whether she fell from favor, died young, or transitioned to ruling under a different royal name remains uncertain. This absence only deepens the allure surrounding her burial site, as no definitive tomb has been identified to date. Her possible burial in the Valley of the Kings would symbolize a remarkable affirmation of her royal status. This necropolis was reserved for pharaohs and their close kin, underscoring the exceptional nature of any female interred there. To find Nefertiti's tomb would not only fill a glaring gap in Egypt's royal genealogy, but also provide invaluable insights into the Amarna era's enigmatic history. Beyond politics and religion, Nefertiti was a patron of the arts. The Amarna period introduced a transformative artistic style characterized by naturalistic and expressive imagery, departing from the rigid conventions of earlier Egyptian art. Nefertiti's images exemplify this style, graceful, realistic, and imbued with a vitality that continues to captivate historians and artists alike. Any tomb discovered could contain vivid frescoes illuminating this unique cultural moment. The archaeological context also places her in the midst of one of the most turbulent transitions in Egypt. Nefertiti's burial, if it were to be found intact, would be a unique artifact of this brief epoch, providing a direct connection to a period of turmoil and experimentation that was rarely seen through the records that survived. Nefertiti's involvement in the Egyptian history is a silent yet impactful factor that has to be factored in discussions regarding the role of women and their visibility in the ancient empires. Historians could very well shift their narrative regarding the power of women in royal families, especially when they are the ones who rule behind the scenes in a predominantly male political environment. The new finds could also mean new aspects of royal succession, religious power, and daily life at court being revealed. The global attraction to Nefertiti not only conveys appreciation of her beauty, but also relates to the questions that have been asked throughout history about the power, identity, and legacy of people. The enigmas surrounding her life and death are still in the process of inspiring the search for the truth behind the stories that have been lost through time. With archaeology getting closer and closer to revealing her tomb, the possibility of finally encountering Nefertiti after ages of waiting evokes an excitement that is not limited to a certain field or location, but is shared across the globe. From her towering historical presence, shadows of doubt and debate persist, challenging even the strongest claims about newly uncovered chambers near Tutankhamun. Conflicting theories and skepticism. While the discovery of possible hidden chambers near Tutankhamun's tomb has electrified many, it also ignited sharp debate within the Egyptological community. Skeptics caution against premature conclusions, emphasizing the need for rigorous scientific validation before declaring any association with Nefertiti. The history of archaeological hype, followed by disappointment, encourages a careful, measured approach. Some experts argue that radar anomalies alone cannot definitively prove the existence of undiscovered tombs. Subsurface voids could represent natural caves, structural gaps, or storage spaces unrelated to royal burials. Without physical access or corroborating evidence, such as inscriptions, the identity of the occupants remains speculative at best. Others question the premise that Nefertiti's tomb would be located adjacent to Tutankhamun's. While historical links between the two figures exist, not all scholars agree on their familial relationship or burial customs. Some propose that Nefertiti's tomb lies elsewhere, perhaps still hidden in the Amarna region or lost altogether due to looting or destruction. The reuse theory of Tutankhamun's tomb also divides opinion. Some believe the tomb was hastily prepared for the boy king after his unexpected death, possibly repurposing a design meant for someone else, which could be Nefertiti. However, others suggest it was simply a youthful monarch's modest tomb and that assumptions about repurposing are based on misinterpretations of incomplete data. Political and bureaucratic factors sometimes complicate archaeological narratives. National pride, tourism interests, and funding pressures can influence the promotion or suppression of certain discoveries. This dynamic adds layers to the skepticism, especially given the high stakes surrounding any potential high-profile tomb opening. Technological limitations also feed into the debate. While non-invasive scanning methods have improved, they still carry a margin for error, interpretation biases, and environmental interference. False positives from radar or scanning devices necessitate cautious analysis and often demand corroboration through excavation, which may not always be timely or feasible. Different schools of thought concerning the ways ancient Egyptians hid their tombs are a fact that adds to the uncertainty. A few historians suggest that there were secret chambers located quite often, while others maintain that such cases were pretty rare, and archaeologists knew even where the chambers were since they were marked. This conflict dictates how the phenomena are viewed and studied. Not minding the criticism, a good number of supporters still assert that when new evidence is compared with the research done over several decades, it points in one strong direction: the existence of undiscovered large royal tombs or areas close to Tutankhamun. However, until there is physical proof, an agreement is difficult to reach. This conflict between hope and doubt is an archaeology problem in its purest form. It is a question of how to mix optimism with discipline, awe with pragmatic attitude, and imagination with solid evidence. The question of Nefertiti's tomb continues to puzzle us, keeping us entertained with different interpretations and disputes. The continuous fascination with these secret chambers of the past will allow for the possibility of new discoveries, although it will be the case that uncertainty will tone down hurry to conclusions. What lies beyond that door may forever change not only our view of Nefertiti, but the very story of ancient Egypt itself. Artifacts and potential findings. If Nefertiti's tomb is indeed located behind those hidden chambers near Tutankhamun's burial site, the potential treasures within could be astonishing. Royal tombs from ancient Egypt often contained an extraordinary wealth of artifacts designed not only to honor the deceased, but also to provide for their journey in the afterlife. For a queen as prominent as Nefertiti, one might expect exquisite jewelry, finely crafted funerary masks, and symbolic religious items that reflect her unique status. The tomb could contain wall paintings or reliefs depicting her life, rituals, and divine connection, offering fresh insight into the Amarna period's distinctive art style. Unlike the more rigid and formulaic motifs of other Egyptian eras, Amarna art is noted for its lifelike qualities and emotional depth. Discovering such frescoes intact would be invaluable for scholars and would profoundly deepen our understanding of Nefertiti's reign and personality. Statues and figurines are also likely candidates. Sculptures from this period often portrayed Nefertiti with a slender neck and regal poise, conveying both beauty and power. If found in situ, these statues would help confirm the tomb's occupant and might reveal new nuances about her role as both queen and possible pharaoh. The presence of ritual objects and amulets could further illuminate religious practices during her time. Earlier royal tombs, such as Tutankhamun's, contained elaborate chariots and weapons for protection in the afterlife. Should the hidden chambers yield similar items, it would indicate the emphasis placed on status, protection, and the afterlife journey. These objects often serve dual roles as both functional and symbolic, intertwining royal authority with divine safeguarding. Equally fascinating would be inscriptions or written records. While Nefertiti's name and deeds are recorded in various places, any fresh text discovered within her tomb might clarify her titles, genealogy, or even unexplored aspects of her life. Tomb inscriptions frequently contain spells from the Book of the Dead, prayers for safe passage, and declarations of the deceased's power, each piece a key to unlocking ancient beliefs. The condition of any skeletal remains or burial masks would also be crucial. While no confirmed remains of Nefertiti have been found, forensic analysis of any discovered bones could shed light on her age, health, and possibly the cause of death. This biological evidence could resolve some historical ambiguities and reconnect humanity tangibly with this iconic figure. The size and the state of the burial site would directly indicate the degree of Nefertiti's cult at the time of her death. The mighty tombs, characterized by several chambers and lavish ornate decorations, would speak of very high respect and big investments in terms of the resources involved. On the other hand, a simpler tomb could be the harbinger of political changes or controversies voiced about her legacy even after her death. The Valley of the Kings hide many secrets that have been revealed by the meticulous digging of neglected little bits and pieces and debris. The chambers might be empty or robbed, but still, the remains of the artifacts, like pottery shards, jewelry parts, or tools, could be used to infer about the biological and burial processes and the people who worked on or supported the tomb. The discovery of Nefertiti's tomb and her accompanying relics would not only benefit researchers and historians, but also attract public attention and thus reinvigorate interest about ancient Egypt's golden age. The finds, no matter whether they are magnificent or subtle, are the keys to understanding the queen whose story is still mostly unfinished. The anticipation for uncovering these artifacts feeds directly into broader conversations about archaeology, cultural identity, and historical legacy. Impact on Egyptian archaeology. The discovery of hidden chambers potentially linked to Nefertiti marks a watershed moment for archaeology in Egypt and beyond. Such a finding revitalizes interest in a region that, despite extensive study, still guards many secrets beneath its sands. It reminds the world that even the most iconic sites can yield surprises, encouraging renewed exploration using advanced technology and interdisciplinary methods. Locally, this breakthrough has energized Egypt's archaeological community. It underscores the importance of preserving and studying the Valley of the Kings, affirming the country's rich cultural heritage and tourism potential. Plans for new excavation projects, conservation efforts, and museum exhibits are likely to gather momentum as a result. This discovery acts as a catalyst for further investment in both research and infrastructure. The international academic community also gains fresh momentum from the potential unearthing of Nefertiti's tomb. Collaborative projects involving Egyptologists, historians, chemists, and materials scientists are set to expand, pushing the boundaries of what is known about ancient Egyptian civilization. This type of cooperative research fosters rich, multifaceted understanding that goes far beyond initial discoveries. A successful excavation would showcase how non-invasive technologies like radar and robotics have transformed archaeology from destructive digging to precise, preservation-minded science. This shift demonstrates that future breakthroughs might come less from randomized searches and more from targeted, technology-driven exploration. It also sets a precedent for responsible excavation that respects cultural heritage. Politically, Egypt can leverage the site's growing significance to strengthen national pride and global visibility. High-profile discoveries often galvanize support for cultural education and heritage tourism, vital sectors for Egypt's economy. Moreover, managing such significant finds responsibly enhances Egypt's role as a steward of ancient history on the world stage. The discovery also raises important ethical and logistical questions about excavation timing, heritage protection, and community involvement. Balancing public interest with scientific rigor and cultural sensitivity will be paramount, setting new standards for archaeological practice in sensitive areas. These challenges encourage dialogue among governments, scholars, and local communities. Inspiring younger generations of Egyptian archaeologists, this discovery represents hope and opportunity. It signals that even after more than a century of research, new horizons remain within reach. This momentum could lead to enhanced training programs, academic scholarships, and international exchanges, fostering the next wave of experts dedicated to unearthing Egypt's past. This event will likely spark broader discussions about the role of archaeology in shaping national identity and understanding history in the modern world. It encourages thoughtful reflection on how ancient legacies inform contemporary culture, politics, and education. Ultimately, the impact of finally unlocking Nefertiti's tomb transcends the find itself. It represents a renewal of human curiosity and connection to a civilization that continues to fascinate and inspire. As the excavation progresses and discoveries unfold, the entire field of Egyptian archaeology stands on the cusp of a transformative chapter, promising revelations that could redefine ancient history. Global reaction and cultural importance. The buzz surrounding the potential discovery of Nefertiti's tomb has reverberated far beyond academia, capturing the imagination of people around the world. This queen, immortalized by her exquisite bust, symbolizes ancient Egypt's artistic brilliance and complex history. The thought that her final resting place might be unearthed stirs a profound sense of connection to humanity's shared past and invites global audiences to witness history coming alive. In Egypt, the discovery has sparked a revival of national pride, as many regard it as a testament to the country's invaluable cultural heritage. It highlights Egypt's role as a custodian of one of the world's richest and most captivating civilizations. The government and cultural institutions are keenly aware that such finds enhance Egypt's stature on the world stage and draw worldwide tourism, which in turn supports the local economy and preservation efforts. Around the world, museums, scholars, and enthusiasts follow news of the excavation closely, anticipating insights that might reshape exhibitions and educational materials. New discoveries about Nefertiti could diversify our understanding of womanhood, power, and religion in antiquity, offering narratives that transcend borders and time. This global interest underscores how history serves not just as a record, but as a source of inspiration and identity for people everywhere. The possible discovery of Nefertiti's tomb is a multifaceted archaeological question that eventually leads to inevitable debates and discussions regarding cultural heritage preservation. The matter is that the controversy surrounding the Nefertiti tomb issue as well as the unearthing of the ancient Egyptian treasures, has brought the protection of the cultural heritage issue to the forefront. Hence, it is indispensable that scientists and the general public cooperate with each other in the matter of archaeological site protection, the former presenting their arguments via the latter and vice versa. Never before has social media acted as a public fascination amplifier so effectively. The entire world gets to experience the story of the past through real-time news feeds, shared expert opinions, and stunning pictures taken with the help of the latest technology. The digital world makes the unearthed antiquities of the past into wonders that can be reached by the whole of humanity. Thus, gradually, and in a more inclusive manner, enacting the history of the past through the invitation of more diverse voices into the debate. The find of a personality like Nefertiti stimulates emotions that transcend the physical and the factual. It connects to the universal human question of curiosity about the cycle of life, death, and what comes after. Everyone looks for it even in her tale. The symbolism of human qualities, moralities, and challenges that we all face in the quest for existence and the search of meaning. This overwhelming attraction draws the thrill of discovery and, in a sense, keeps the audience engaged long after the news has turned cold. It would be then a culturally, if not very often, symbol of the exterminating ancients and the modern worlds. Passing civilizations would thus be the medium and not the barrier in our present understanding of art, spirituality, and governance. The whole tale of the uncovering could be added to Egypt's living heritage, as it were, thus encouraging the new breeds to uncover their roots and keep the heritage alive. The continuing effect of the discoveries also leads to creativity in arts, literature, and media, making films, documentaries, and theater productions possible. Nefertiti's tale has proved to be a good source of creativity, and the recent discoveries have only made the well of inspiration deeper. The Queen's aura, that had been limited to and characterized by stones and colors, now thrives in the framework of the world's popular culture. In the end, the Nefertiti tomb opening is not just an archaeology event. It is a cultural watershed that unites the world both geographically and temporally. It resurrects the long-lost chapters of human history, and it is up to the inquisitive minds to decide which ones are still under the sands, waiting to surprise us all. Unlocking the mysteries of Nefertiti's tomb promises to reshape our understanding of ancient Egypt and its fascinating people. From cutting-edge technology to global excitement, this discovery highlights the enduring power of history to surprise and connect us. If you enjoyed diving deep into this incredible story, be sure to like and subscribe for more journeys into the past's greatest mysteries.